Hey, happy Tuesday. I am so glad that you are joining us today. Yes, I am back from vacation, so thank you very much to Pastor Aaron for covering the last four of our spiritual practices at home. Today, what I wanted to talk about, and today and Thursday, what we're going to talk about is control. Let me tell you something about me. I like feeling like I have control over what's going on around me. And you probably do too. And we all kind of varying degrees are interested about this, but I really like to know what the plan is, where we're going, when we're leaving, what we're going to do when we get there, when we're coming back. Just to put it in perspective, when I knew back in 2006, when I was going to begin my master's program, and I would be moving to another town. I found that out in February of 2006, so I wouldn't be getting classes until September of 2006, and I began to call places for apartments that I could rent. And every landlord told me the same thing. Like, what are you bugging me for, man? It's February. I don't know who's moving out of my apartment. I don't know what apartments are going to be available in August. Call me back in like July. But for me, July was just far too close to September. I mean, I just needed to know where I was going to live. I needed to have that kind of control. I needed to know what was going to come down the pipeline. But the problem is, we don't have anywhere near as much control as we think we do, or at least as much as we hope we do. I mean, a lot is out of our control. If there is anything that we have been learning since March, it's got to be this, right? I mean, it has to be. We have to have learned that life is just not in our control as much as we want it to be. So what do we do with that? There's this Bible verse that I've been thinking about. It's this particular Bible verse I think about probably the first whenever I start thinking about control things. Let me just read it to you. It's from Jesus. It's in the middle of the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5, and some verses I don't remember which. I didn't write down the verses. Matthew 5. Let me read this. Again, you have heard it said to the people long ago, do not break your oath, but fulfill them to the Lord, the vows that you have made. But I tell you, do not swear an oath at all, either by heaven, for it is God's throne, or by the earth, for it is his footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. And do not swear by your head, for you cannot make even one hair white or black. All you need to say is simply yes or no. Anything beyond this that comes from the evil one. And I know what you're thinking. This doesn't sound like it has anything to do with control. What on earth are you talking about? And you're right, sort of. I mean, this passage we use to talk about, just being honest, being frank, about not splashing on a lot of religious phrases into the things that we tell people, not to embellish our problems. The line within this verse that I always think about is this one. And do not swear by your head, for you cannot make even one hair white or black. Think about that for a moment. Think about all of the things that we want to control. Think about all of the things that we want to go a certain way in our lives. Because in a lot of ways, that's what these oaths are about, right? A person is swearing that they are going to do something. They're proclaiming what their intentions are, what they hope for life. And Jesus is just saying, look at the hair on your head. You can't even will that hair, one single hair, to change color. You can't turn it from white to black or from black to white. And, depending on who you are, you may have a handful of hairs that you wish you could will to be a different color right now. And Jesus is saying you just can't. He's helping to strip away some of the illusions of what we think we can. That's what the rest of this is, right? It says, don't swear by the heavens. What control do you have over the heavens? They're not yours. Don't swear by the mountain of Jerusalem. That's not really yours either. You don't have any control over there. You don't have any ownership on it. It's God's footstool. Don't swear by Jerusalem. It's not yours. You don't have any control there. Jesus says it's the domain of the great king. He's probably thinking of David and his descendants. I suppose if the king of Jerusalem wanted to swear by Jerusalem, that would hold some weight. But for you, for me, for the person Jesus was addressing, we can't really give Jerusalem away if we're wrong. Can't claim it if we're right. And then he turns it on to the most obvious spot. You're trying to swear by your own self. But really, even if you think you own yourself, if you're your own person, you can't, by force of will alone, change a color of a single strand of hair. You have relatively little control over what your body does. A lot of it's kind of on automatic. A lot of it's dictated by time. A lot of it's dictated by circumstances. And then the end. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Just be simple. See, Jesus is saying, don't worry about all these flourishes. Don't try to squeeze control out of the things around you. Instead, try to just be the kind of person I need you to be. The honest kind of person. The dependable kind of person. The thoughtful kind of person. The compassionate kind of person. When it comes right down to it, for me, control needs to be tempered by trust. I want to control things because I don't want things to go wrong, but I don't have a lot of control in things. I can't force people around me to do what I want them to do. I can't force the health and wellness of our province, our country, our world to do what I want it to do. So what can I do if I can't control it? I can trust. Now, I don't mean you trust that God is going to make everything work out fine. That's, I think, a silly line. Lots of things don't work out fine. Lots of things don't work out in the end the way you had hoped. And yet, the concept of trust still remains. Trust that you're not alone. Trust that you're not in this by yourself. Trust that there is a God who is overseeing you and cares about you and loves you. How do we, our control freaks in the world, what do? We trust. Maybe start by some little things. Because if anything else that this pandemic has taught us, it's there are quite a few people in the world who are definitely trying to will their hair to be a different color. And the pandemic has showed them otherwise, that they don't really have control over that either. So what do? We trust. That's it. That's my reflection for today. Take small steps for today, tomorrow, into Thursday, and find little things that you can trust on. Because if you want to trust the big stuff, you kind of have to trust the small stuff first. That's it for me. Thanks for watching. I look forward to see you on Thursday. Stay safe and God bless.